The secret behind the mysterious medicine. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a loving family of 3. The family consisted of a mother, a father, and their cherished son. The bond between the 3 was strong, built on a foundation of love, respect, and deep affection. The son was the pride of his parents, a diligent and bright young man who showed great promise. They nurtured him with care, watching proudly as he excelled in his studies and life. Their life was filled with love and ease, and their happiness was a source of envy for many. But life can be unpredictable, and even the happiest of families are tested. One day, an unexpected illness struck their household. The father, the rock of their family, fell seriously ill. His sickness cast a dark shadow over their once joyful lives. The mother and son poured all their love and energy into caring for him, determined to nurse him back to health. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Both the mother and son were devoted caregivers, providing constant love and support. Their sacrifices and dedication were clear evidence of the depth of their love for the ailing patriarch. One day, as the father lay in bed, his condition took a turn for the worse. He quietly and peacefully departed from this world, leaving behind a profound sense of loss and sorrow in the hearts of his wife and son. The mother and son grieved together, mourning the loss of their beloved patriarch. The bond between them grew even stronger in the face of this shared sorrow. Now, the mother was determined to do everything in her power to ensure her son's future success, just as his father had wished. As time passed, the mother decided it was time for her son to marry. She felt that he was of marriageable age and deserved to find a life partner to share his dreams and build a family. With great dedication, she searched for a suitable bride, determined to find someone who would bring joy and love into her son's life. After careful consideration, the mother succeeded in finding a young woman whom she believed would make an ideal wife for her son. With great enthusiasm and love, she organized a magnificent wedding ceremony, hoping to set the stage for her son's prosperous future. In the initial days of their marriage, the son and his new wife appeared to be blissfully happy. Their love and devotion to each other were evident to all who knew them. However, as time went on, a disquiet began to brew beneath the surface. Tensions between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law began to emerge, slowly but steadily. The son, caught in the middle, struggled to mediate and restore peace, but his efforts seemed futile. The rift between the 2 women grew deeper and more contentious with each passing day. However, friction gradually developed between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, escalating into bitter arguments. Despite the son's attempts to reconcile them, peace remained elusive. Frustrated and disheartened by the escalating conflict in her new family, the daughter-in-law felt an overwhelming need for guidance and support. She knew that the situation could not continue, and the happiness she had hoped for in her marriage was slipping away. Frustrated and unable to find common ground, the daughter-in-law reached out to her uncle, a well-respected doctor known for his wisdom and compassion. She confided in him, sharing her grievances and concerns. The daughter-in-law proceeded to tell her uncle all the grievances and accusations that her mother-in-law had leveled against her unfairly. She poured out her heart, revealing her deepest frustrations and fears. The uncle, curious and worried, inquired further, "What troubles do you speak of? Does your mother-in-law pose any real threat to you?" "Oh, dear uncle, if it weren't for the troubles caused by my mother-in-law, I could have been truly happy." With a heavy heart, she confided in her uncle, sharing her grievances and concerns. She spoke of the growing tension between herself and her mother-in-law, of the arguments that seemed to have no resolution, and of the strain that was affecting not only her marriage but also her overall well-being. She hoped that her uncle, with his years of experience and understanding, could offer some guidance on how to navigate this challenging situation. Her uncle listened attentively, recognizing the pain and frustration in his niece's voice. He could see the toll that the ongoing conflict was taking on her, and he knew that it was essential to find a resolution that would bring peace and harmony back into her life. With compassion and a sense of responsibility, he considered the options available to help his niece find a way forward. The uncle, a caring and perceptive man, listened intently and contemplated the situation. After careful consideration, he made a shocking proposition. "My dear, I understand your pain, and I have a solution that may help you, but it is a grave matter. Are you willing to hear it?" With a mix of apprehension and curiosity, the daughter-in-law agreed to listen, not fully comprehending the consequences of the uncle's proposal. He offered her a proposal, one that would test the very core of her moral compass. "I have a medicine, my dear, a special concoction, that, if administered correctly, can help you rid yourself of this burden. But you must understand that it's a perilous path." The uncle continued, explaining that the medicine would not harm the mother-in-law directly, but if used consistently, it could lead to her passing. The daughter-in-law, filled with apprehension, inquired how such a decision could be made. The daughter-in-law, reluctantly but convinced it was her only way to find happiness, agreed to her uncle's plan. He cautioned her that the plan must be executed discreetly and that she must continue to care for her mother-in-law, thereby diverting any suspicion that may arise. Reluctantly, the daughter-in-law agreed to her uncle's plan, convinced that it was her only way to find happiness in her marital home. The doctor, solemnly aware of the gravity of the situation, provided her with the medicine and stressed the importance of maintaining secrecy. She left his office, heavy-hearted and unsure of the path she had chosen. Over the following weeks, the daughter-in-law carefully incorporated the medicine into her mother-in-law's meals. To outsiders, it appeared that she was an exemplary caregiver, and her mother-in-law seemed to thrive under her care. As the months passed, a remarkable transformation occurred within their home. The daughter-in-law's persistent care and compassion eventually earned her mother-in-law's trust and affection. The hostilities of the past seemed to dissipate, and the once troubled relationship gradually mended. The bitterness of the past seemed to dissipate, and a newfound warmth enveloped their relationship. Her mother-in-law now regarded her with love and as a true daughter. It was as though a new chapter had begun, one that was filled with warmth and familial love. However, as the daughter-in-law looked upon the woman who had once been her adversary, a heavy burden weighed upon her heart. She couldn't bear the thought of her mother-in-law's impending fate, even though it was by her own hand. Guilt and remorse consumed her, and she realized that she couldn't go through with her uncle's plan. One day, unable to bear the guilt any longer, she visited her uncle once more. As he saw her approaching with a heavy heart, the doctor knew that something had changed. When he inquired about her sorrow, she tearfully confessed the situation. Tears streaming down her face, the daughter-in-law pleaded, "Uncle, I cannot go on with this any longer. My mother-in-law has become like a real mother to me, and I cannot bear the thought of her suffering. I want to save her." The doctor, who had foreseen this moment, nodded gravely. "My dear, I understand your feelings, and I have prepared for this. I will give you a medicine that will reverse the effects of the previous one and help your mother-in-law recover." He reassured her by offering a different medication, one that would reverse the effects of the previous one and help her mother-in-law recover. The doctor, secretly proud of his cunning plan, provided her with the antidote and encouraged her to administer it. He knew that this act of kindness would cement the bond between the two women. In the end, only the doctor knew the secret behind the vitamin pills that had brought their family together. This clever and compassionate doctor subtly demonstrated that when people grow through kindness, others around them will also flourish into better individuals. The family's household flourished as love and harmony replaced the bitterness of the past. Only the doctor knew the secret behind the mysterious medicine that had brought about this transformation. The clever and compassionate doctor had taught an invaluable lesson, that love and kindness could mend even the deepest of rifts and that people could become better when they grew through acts of genuine compassion.